Were you happy with your GCSE? I actually fractured my back. This question I got asked so much. Have you ever snuck out? Well, not really, but I try. Definitely not something I would recommend doing. Hey guys, it's Mia. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a Q&A, but I'm also baking at the same time, so it's adding a little bit of a twist. I asked you all over on my Instagram and on my YouTube what video you guys wanted to see this week, and the Q&A ended up winning, so here we are. Also, I have got a cold or something that's got rid of my voice, so I'm really sorry that I sound like a man, but there's nothing I can do about it. Anyways, in today's video I'm just going to be answering all of the questions that you guys have asked me over on Instagram and giving you my honest answers. And there's kind of like a variety of questions. Some of them are about school, some of them are about boarding school, some of them are about gym, life, just things in general. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and let's get started. I just want to show you guys quickly, this is my current setup for baking. My biscuits are in the oven and I'm going to be decorating them now, and I'm super excited. Oof, they're out, guys. So the first question is, how did you break your toe? So I broke my toe last December. I did it whilst I was at gym. I did it doing a front full. So basically, like when I punched on the floor, I punched on pointed toes and I snapped my big toe. Definitely not something I would recommend doing. It was so painful. Okay, next question is, what is your favourite event? My favourite event is Beam, although it kind of depends on the day really. I feel like I've got my own baking show. This is so much fun. Yeah, but I feel like if you ask any gymnast what their favourite event is, they'll say like it changes all the time. And what made you want to go to boarding school? So, I don't think I've ever actually told you guys the story of why I went to boarding school, so I'll tell you it now. When we went into lockdown, the first lockdown in 2020, I was kind of like, I was looking into going to boarding school, but I didn't actually think it was ever going to happen. And I was doing it because I wanted to do gymnastics in England. Anyways, then lockdown actually hit, and obviously I had so much time to think about everything and to think about all my life decisions. And I spoke to my parents and we decided that we were actually going to go for it. And I just decided in lockdown, and I signed up for the school and I got in. And yeah, that's the story of how I went to boarding school. I've put you at a lower angle so you can see what I'm doing at the same time. Were you happy with your GCSEs? I actually was happy with my GCSEs, apart from I was a bit upset with music and a bit upset with history. Not like really upset, but I was expecting to get a little bit higher. So yeah, but overall I was really happy. And to be honest guys, for any of you who are doing your GCSEs this year, they're not that bad. Like, they make them out to be such a big deal, but I literally haven't spoken about my GCSEs once since finishing them. What is your favourite colour? My favourite colour is blue. Although recently I've really been into brown, which sounds really weird, but like I've been wearing a lot of brown outfits and stuff, and I've really been vibing with brown. But yeah, blue is like my favourite colour, a nice baby blue. Have you got any study tips? So, I was thinking of doing another study vlog soon where I kind of go more in depth in this, but my biggest study tip is to make a list and not a timetable. Now, this won't work for everyone, but it works for me really well. Basically, I cannot work off timetables because my life normally, like, it changes quite a lot. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing and when. So having a timetable really stressed me out because I never knew like exactly what I was going to do and when. And then if I was doing something when I was supposed to be revising, it just stressed me out. So instead of making a study timetable for my GCSEs, I actually made a list and broke down every single topic into everything that I needed to know, and then I just ticked everything off that list. And it worked so much better for me because it meant some days if I was really in like the revising mood, I could tick off like 10 things off my list, and then some days I could only tick off like 1, but I just felt it was easier than a timetable. But I think the most important one is to take lots of breaks to make sure that you are processing what you've remembered, because I didn't do that until April and it was a big mistake. This question I got asked so much: how long have you and Adam been together? So Adam is my boyfriend, for any of you guys who don't know. We've been together for a year on September 18th. Yeah, I kept it a secret for a while. What A-levels are you taking? So I'm doing 3 A-levels, well, 1 BTEC and 2 A-levels. I am doing Performing Arts BTEC, Music and Psychology, and currently my favourite is actually music. I used to hate music at GCSE, but it's now my favourite A-level. Also, any of you guys wanting to take psychology, would not recommend. How do you find not seeing your family a lot? Not seeing family a lot is really difficult, I'm not gonna lie, because I only get to see my family like on holidays a few times a year. But at the same time, I have grown up not really seeing family because we've lived abroad for so long, so it is kind of normal for us. But it definitely is really difficult. I've made this icing way too thick. It definitely is really difficult, especially like at the start of a new year, especially when I've been with my parents for the whole of summer or whatever. But you do get used to it. How's your back since your operation? So for any of you guys who may not know this, because this was in 2019, it was a long time ago now, I actually fractured my back and I had to have an operation to get it fixed. So since my operation, I literally don't even feel pain in my back anymore, which has been so nice. The only thing is I cannot bend like I used to. I used to be able to like put my feet over my head and bend in all sorts of positions and whatnot, and I can't do that anymore because my back just does not bend. So that is the one downside, but being pain-free, I can't complain. What do you miss most about living in Dubai? There are actually a lot of things that I miss about living in Dubai. Things like it being really hot and sunny, being able to go out any time of the year. Definitely miss that. I think I miss school a lot. I absolutely loved my school in Dubai. It was like my favourite school I ever went to, and I obviously miss my friends a lot. But I think just kind of like how we lived out there, like it was so relaxed and everything was so like chilled. But I do also love living in England. It's been like really different for me because I haven't really lived in England for that long. So there are pros and cons, but yeah, that's definitely what I miss the most. And also family, obviously. Would you recommend boarding school? I would recommend boarding school. It is a lot of fun. It can be difficult, it can be challenging, but yeah, spending time with your friends is like one massive sleepover and it's a lot of fun. And also if you live far away from school, it's really great obviously because you're a lot closer, you just have to walk across the road. So yeah, I would recommend it. It definitely helped me get out of my comfort zone a lot as well, because I used to be like so shy and so scared of speaking to people, and now I can speak to anyone I like. Well, not really, but I try. Do you get to choose your roommate? No. The first year that I went, I was in 4th form, which is year 10, and I didn't get to choose my roommate. But this year I did get to choose my roommate. Me and Izzy chose to be with each other because we're in 6th form, they gave us the option, because we had to share with someone, so they asked us like who we would prefer to share with the most. So yeah, that was nice that we got an option and that we got to share with each other, because obviously like we're really good friends and stuff. So how's your experience in boarding school been as a whole? This is such an interesting question because my experience has been really bizarre, to say the least. So I went to boarding school in 2020, which looking back was such a stupid idea because we were still very in the middle of COVID. So I went to school for September and October, and then I had to fly home in November because there was an emergency lockdown in England and I wanted to make sure that I could be home for Christmas. So I had to go back to Dubai in November, so I missed like a month of school then. And then I came back in January and I was ready to like settle in and make friends and stuff, and then we went into a real lockdown and I was in the boarding house for the whole of lockdown for 4 months. So that also made my experience just so weird because it's not a normal thing to be stuck in your boarding house. And then in 2021, when I was in year 11, we were still in and out of isolation and whatnot, but overall the experience was much better. This year so far, I've loved it. It's been great because I've been able to go out and I've been able to go home, and it's just been way more relaxed now that there's no COVID. So it's been really weird, to say the least, because there's been so many different things that have been thrown in my face that typically wouldn't be when you're at boarding school, but it's just one of those things, I guess. You have to expect the unexpected. Right, next question is, have you ever snuck out? No, I've never snuck out of anywhere. I'm definitely like a goody two-shoes and I don't like really getting into trouble. Like when I'm at school, I just tell them where I'm going, and with my parents, I tell them where I'm going. So I'm really sorry that there is not a more interesting story to that one. How old were you when you moved out of England? So I moved out of England when I was 6, and I originally moved to Doha in Qatar, and then I moved to Dubai when I was 11, I think. What's your biggest pet peeve? Oh my god, guys, I have so many pet peeves, but I think my absolute worst one is the sound of like a fork or a knife scratching on a plate. If you're ever eating with me and you make that sound, I will give you like the worst death stare ever. I will give you so many dirty looks and it will just not be good. I absolutely hate it, and I also hate slow walkers, although I can put up with them more than I can put up with the sound of scratching on a plate. What's a movie that you can watch over and over again? Oh, I can watch Arthur Christmas over and over and over again. That's like one of my absolute favourite films. But if we're not talking Christmas films, I've watched The Adam Family like so many times. I absolutely love that film. Ratatouille, that's my favourite film, so I've rewatched that like 1,000 times. To be honest, I'm one of those people who I rewatch everything. Like I rewatch all of the TV shows that I'm watching. I rewatch like old movies because I like knowing what's going to happen. I don't know why, I'm just like that, so I'll literally like rewatch anything and not complain about it. Right guys, I hope that you enjoyed this Q&A. I know it's something a little bit different, but I wanted to try and change it up a little bit. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you again very, very soon for another video.